What up, guys? That Comic Awesome doing another review, doing Superman 41, and this is part 2 of The Last Days. So, last issue, Superman and Superboy went out in search of this planet that was destined to have the same fate as Krypton, which means it was going to explode. So Superman and Superboy decided they were going to save the population. When they got there, they were not well received. They were pretty much met with hostility because it was pretty much a religious base of people who believed that their god would wanted them to die with the planet. When they, as they were escaping, they came across another one of their kind who was about the sciences. Hey, I'm gonna stop right there. Publishers, figure out what the science is. I mean, you're talking about I don't know, 80 to 100 different fields that are classified as the science. Can we start being specific about some things instead of I'm the science guy? It's no. Like, what? Are you an astrophysicist? Are you a biologist? Are you a chemist? Start giving me some specifics in the field. Anyway, they find a man of science who draws a lot of parallels to Jor-El in the fact that he kind of tried to tell the people of this planet that it was going to explode, and was made a social pariah because of that. And that's pretty much where this picks up. And there are some really good imageries. And I gave the last issue, the last issue irritated me because, again, it was this plight of, not a plight, but it was like this this really bad analogy of religion versus science and how it painted kind of this, religious light, people who are religious kind of are dumber than people who believe in the science because they're hard-headed and they don't want to, believe in anything outside of that. That being said, this issue does a lot better with kind of evening the scales, not really evening the scales, but they definitely lighten the tone on the, the religious zealots, if you will. So we start off that so they were saved by Clang, who Klain, who again is a man of science. So he's like, let's go back to my lab. As I'm saying this, they're searching, the trenches of the wreaths just to look for us. But in, a couple hours, it's going to be, it's going to be all gone anyway. So they get back to the lab. It turns out Klain's wife was killed because there was a science purge where all of the scientific minds were killed. So, as a last-ditch effort to save his people, he built a rocket, obviously much like the rocket that took Kal-El to Earth. So Superman's like, look, how am I going to, I can help you build an ark, but, this rocket's going to be too small. He's like, all this rocket is going to hold, our, these eggs from me and my wife. There's an AI with it, much like the AI from that Jor-El put with Kal-El's ship to be built into the fortress. This is built, has an AI which will help the offspring grow and learn. And he even says here that he's going with them. He's like, but I worry that I'm going to take my too much of this planet with me. He's picked out a planet that is habitable, a couple of solar systems away. And I thought about this during the last issue. So Superman powered by yellow sun rays. he traveled to a system, well outside ours. They didn't really say, but I wonder if he did the research in making sure that there was a yellow sun here that would give him the ability to, I don't know, space travel and be Superman on this planet. Because, I mean, how awful would it be if he got, like, it's like running out of gas, like, in the middle of the desert. If you had to cross a solar system or something that had a red sun, and it's like, oh, man, like, we're going to cut this way. It's like, here's a red sun, so we got to cut around this, like, yellow sun over here, and then go, it's like, we can't go direct. Like, I wonder if he plotted that course like that. Anyway, so, this is where he talks about bringing too much of his planet with him, and of course the zealots show up and pretty much begin to not destroy everything, but, fire away. Klain gets shot. Superman gets his powers back. They had used this faith magic of prayer, which caused Superman and Superboy not to lose their powers, but severely dampen them. But now his powers are back. Superman tells John to just get away from, get out the planet, take the eggs, and go. And then there's this really good exchange between Superman, Klain, and then the leader of the planet. So he sits here, and Klain's dying, and he's like, well, at least I'll see my wife again. And the whole time, he's sitting there, and he's saying, like, I'm a man of science, blah, blah. And he's like, so Superman says, what? See your wife again? Do you believe in God? He's like, why, of course. I believe in God and science and the truth. They can all go together if one chooses to let them. And it's like, that right there, he's like, you don't have to be about the science, or you don't have to be about religion. You can know things and do things that allow you to understand everything. So then he's happy. He's like, it's probably better. It's more important that my children will have a fresh start, not from this planet. So then he has this nice conversation with the leader where, everyone is like, kill him. He's like, no, let him stand down. He's like, this world's ending, and if it is, leave, let us be to our deaths. And Superman's like, look, I can't go without trying one last time before this planet goes. He's like, try what? To challenge our faith? They're like, Dirmet is absolute. And he's like, are you so arrogant that you can that you think a few words of sage wisdom will weaken that? He's like, it's not arrogance, it's hope. And then this is what I'm actually pretty interested about Brimstone. I think I'm gonna pick that up. But this is what I really like, and this is where I think a lot of people in very absolute, fanatical religions kind of get into. But he pretty much says, well, what if Dirmet sent me to save you, not to challenge you, but he sent me as like the answer to your prayers or whatever. And he's like, I'll say it one final time, our faith is strong, our belief is absolute. And he's like, I believe he wants you to live. He's like, of course. He's like, you're a good man. I see that now. Frankly, part of me still resents you for wanting to save us. What right do you have to question your belief? But equally, there's part of me that thanks you for trying. Now go. And then it blows up. Oh, wait. No, it doesn't. Okay, it does. I was worried that... But then you get this really nice kind of spread and Superman kind of flying away from it. Which, again, lucky for him, there was a yellow sun nearby to protect him. But then there's this really great exchange. I can't show it, but there's a really great exchange of between Superboy and Superman, where, you know, he's like, Superboy asks Superman, and I think this is important, kind of every like father and son relationship. He's like, you know, well, Dad, do you believe in God? And he's like, you can't go through everything that I've gone through and not believe in something. You know, and he's like, but something's not everything. So it's kind of like, you know, dipping your toe in the water. But I don't know. This issue was a lot better than last issue. Last issue kind of really irritated me, but I think this made up for it. So yeah, there's that. Subscribe over here. Watch some more videos. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you next time.